like to call this Town of Sheffield Select Board meeting to order for April 19th. I want to thank everyone who's here in attendance, and also CTSB for recording this meeting, and we appreciate those who follow via CTSB. Our first order of business tonight is the approval of one set of minutes from March 28th, 22. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the Select Board meeting minutes from March 28th, 2022 as written.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
We'll turn the next item, which is the announcement of vacant town positions, to our town administrator, Rhonda Lombard.
So if you look at the Shopper's Guide this week, you saw that Sheffield had a ton of ads in there. So we're looking for a highway superintendent, we're looking for an equipment operator, truck driver, laborer. We've had a vacancy in the administrative assistant position for, I think, a couple months at this point. And then a maintenance person part-time and a janitor part-time. When we hired Southern Berkshire Janitorial, we asked them to do February and March, and he very nicely is covering April for us, but we need to find somebody or make a permanent switch to Southern Berkshire Janitorial, so.
Okay, now on a janitorial person, this could be a team. Is that correct? Or are you looking for just one person? Okay, it could be a team of people. Okay, all right. And
The maintenance position is more of an as-needed with some special projects, but we may have that worked out with a different employee moving them to full-time. So since the ad has come out, there may not be the need for the part-time maintenance person, but it might be nice to have someone who can do the higher-end levels of fixing boards or building them type things. So, we looked at whatever came in, but I think we pretty much have that one covered.
okay, Sheffield is a very good employer, great benefits, good people to work with. So if you're interested in any of these jobs, it would be well just to get your application in. How do they get an application, Rhonda?
They can either get it online or they can call us, and we'd certainly mail or email it to them.
Okay, great. Thank you. I would like to, given the vacant position listing, I would really like to thank our highway crew, both Bill and Mark, for doing an outstanding job under a shortage of highway personnel, but they have just done really well. And I would hope that the public, realizing that we're down 2 people plus 1 person out sick, would be patient and would be appreciative of the work that they are doing, trying to cover basically a 5-person position, or staff, 5-person staff. So thank you, Bill and Mark. Anything else on that? Anyone want to add anything?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, now let's go on to resignations. Highway Department, Rhonda?
So Kristen Wolfert has resigned from the highway department.
Make a motion that we accept Chris Wolfert's resignation from the Highway Department.
I'll second that.
All right, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Next is an appointment announcement, Zoning Board of Appeals. Rhonda, would you set the stage on this for us?
Sure. So we have had a vacancy on zoning appeals for quite some time, and then we had a resignation that you know from our last meeting. So we're looking to appoint 2 people, and we've had 3 responses, 3 letters of interest. One from Pat Levine, one from Nicole Chase, and one from David Cohn. I would ask that you think about suspending your policy of waiting 2 weeks. The zoning board is going to have a hearing coming up soon, and we'll need a full board to act on that.
I'll make a motion that we appoint David Kuhn and Nicole Chase as regular members of the Zoning Board of Appeals, and we appoint Pat Levine as an alternate to the Zoning Board of Appeals.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. I have to say that I was not able to get hold of Dave Coons. I started yesterday and 3 voicemails, and I could not get hold of him. He may be out of town. I know the kids are out on vacation, so this might be just my timing. I did have a chance to speak with Nicole Chase. I feel very comfortable with her being on the ZBA, and I would also, of course, feel very comfortable with Pat. Pat does a lot of things for our town already. If you two are comfortable.
Would you, under the circumstances, then prefer that I amend my motion with regard to David and Pat, and make Pat full-time member and David an alternate member?
Well, I just wonder if anyone had a chance. I'm sorry, I didn't know Nicole or David, so it was important for me to try to reach out. I don't know if anyone on the board knows David or Nicole or had a chance to speak with them.
I didn't have a chance to speak with them, but I did speak with people that know them, and
Okay.
I'm comfortable at this point.
Okay, then I'm fine. I just wanted to
Okay.
say what I wanted to say, okay? And are these for 3-year terms, or
Yes.
shall we stagger these so we
Take
don't?
a look at what the terms are expiring and stagger them so that we have one going on for each year.
Let's not have
The whole
people in a
board
group.
on that one.
Okay,
Okay.
all right. So we have a motion and a second, and do you want to amend that to be staggered terms per,
So amended.
okay, per what's needed? And any other discussion?
No.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
And I want to thank David, Nicole, and Pat for volunteering. 2 of these people, I believe, are new to town service, which is always exciting, and it's always wonderful to see someone who has already proven themselves in town service put their hand up for yet another position. So thank you, Pat. Okay. Our next item is, we need to take action regarding a 1-day alcohol permit or permits for Dewey Hall. And let's find that paperwork.
Yep, the dates are April 23rd, May 12th, and May 20th.
Great. Would you like to make a motion on that?
So moved. To approve.
All right, and we have everything, Rhonda?
We do.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second for Dewey Hall for the dates that Martin just listed. 1-day alcohol permit to serve beer and wine. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next, let me just give an update on textile recycling. There's been a move, as I think we may have discussed, for a number of the East Coast textile recyclers have now discovered Western Mass, and some of them are coming in, which is great. We have just renegotiated, or our firm that's been here, I think, for a year plus, Apparel Impact, reached out and said that they would like to pay us now 5 cents a pound for the textiles. So a new contract, an updated contract was signed with them. I think they've done an excellent job, and I even called them today because our bin is full out here. They're coming tomorrow to dump that. So I just wanted to kind of let people know that. The other thing I just wanted to make sure is that everybody has had a chance, it's in your mail, to learn about this event that's going to be going on Saturday, April 30th at the library. It's an Arbor Day and Earth Day. A lot of good stuff being given away here, but I also just wanted to say that we're going to be doing things from a recycling event, and I'm adding that I will take clean clothing, non-moldy, non-dirty or stained, and dry clothing in plastic bags if you want to bring it, and I will take it over and put it in our recycling, textile recycling. So we're expanding this a little bit more. I'm not going to go over it because everybody's getting this, but I hope to see you at the library on the 30th. Annual town meeting reminder, Rhonda?
So I just want to remind everyone that the annual meeting will be May 2nd at 6 p.m. at the Mount Everett Regional High School Auditorium. There are 31, I believe, articles that we will get a chance to vote on. So I encourage all residents to attend. And
And,
certainly they can contact me if they have any questions. And
Okay.
when they get there, we will have the warrant ready for them with a little explanation at the bottom on what each article is.
great, and they can look at the warrant now
Okay.
by going online, right?
It's online.
And we're going to have clickers this year,
Where?
so that for the meeting, and I want to thank Martin and I believe Tammy for running that for us. So it should go, I don't think there's anything controversial on the warrant, but that's in the eye of the beholder. So most of them are, I think all of them are standard, so it should go relatively fast. But again, if you have any questions, please give Rhonda a call, and she'd be very happy to go over them. And we'll thank the Sheffield Times in advance for putting out a town meeting paper as well as the candidate's profile. So, anything to add?
No, thank you.
And we'll have to wait, I think, and see, COVID cases are on the rise, so we follow the school's protocol. So, we'll have masks available, and if we have to mask up according to their protocols, we'll have to do that. So, all right, so our next item is discussion regarding disclosure statements filed, and those are two by our town administrator. Rhonda, would you start the conversation?
Sure. So the first one is a disclosure by a non-elected municipal employee of financial interest. And the second one is disclosure of parents. For the paving season coming up, we need to prepare the paving bids, and I have a family member that works for one of the companies that may bid on the job. So I will not be involved beyond writing the ad. And questions will be directed to Jill. She'll hand out the bids, and she will accept and open the bids with a witness that will not be me. And if the company that I'm concerned with ends up getting the bid, Jill and I will talk about how we'll handle that as well.
Are there any questions from board members on these?
So I would make a motion that we accept the disclosure by a non-elected municipal employee of financial interest and the disclosure of appearance of conflict of interest submitted by our town administrator, Rhonda LaBombard, as written.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Wonderful. If anybody wants to see these are public documents. You can request them, but it's really important that those types of documents be discussed at an open meeting so the public is aware, and that people who have any idea of a hint of anything go ahead and file them. So I appreciate you doing that, Rhonda, very much. So next is a discussion, possible action regarding plowing damage. Rhonda, again, please.
So what you have in your packet is the third letter that we had received regarding damage on Cobble Lane. The highway department, in the last snowstorm that was quite the blizzard, went off-road a little bit and plowed up a little bit of the grass. We have pictures in the previous letters we had received. So the highway department has gone over and repaired that section of lawn, but we can see from the letter that the owner is not happy. He had other things that he wanted done, a roller, a special seed mix, a certain kind of hay. Those are things that he would like to see done. And Bob, I know to go over here today. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, I drove by, and there was a little bit of edge cut with the plows, which is fully understandable. I did not find it excessive. The repair that was made by our highway department was adequate. I see no need to go any farther with it than what we have done.
I went over last week. I looked at it, and I kind of felt exactly the same. The area seemed to be relatively small, and I think they did a good job of reshaping the area. And since it is at the edge of the road, the grass will grow in just by the way grass grows. So I see no reason to do anything more. I think they did a decent, and I think they did a good, thorough job. So,
Make a motion.
yes, let's have a motion on this.
I make a motion that we take no further action on this issue.
I'll second that.
Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Rhonda, do you want to write a letter? Okay, great. All right. Next, update on the cable survey. I just want to thank everyone who did fill out the paper. We've had a pretty good response, much better than Great Barrington's. And, we're in this with 5 people, 5 different towns, so Sheffield is up there in its responses. You can still go online and do this. We're going to leave the online up for a little bit longer. You can just go online, go under news, it's there. It's quick. And additional surveys will help us in our work with negotiating the contract with Spectrum Charter, which we will begin in the next couple of months. Martin, do you want to say anything about the broadband survey?
No,
No? Okay. Is that officially over?
no, it goes to the end of the month.
Okay, so people can also go online, right, and take that survey. We need to have some results on that, and that goes to the end of this month. Great. All right, next item is update on Rester River. I just wanted to let everyone know that BRPC, who has been the Rester River Municipal Committee's partner on the work that's been going on for years, has assembled a full range of documents on their website. And what I would like to ask the board's permission to do is to put a link on our Selectboard page that goes to the BRPC whole docket of documents. So people can go in there and see everything that's been going on. There are still executive committee minutes that haven't been released and probably won't be released until all of the legal stuff is over. But it's a very rich situation of documents. So
I would make a motion that we put a link on the Sheffield webpage to the Berkshire Regional Planning Commission's Rest of River document files for people to be able to access those.
Second.
okay, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank
Okay,
you.
great, thank you. Next is discussion possible action regarding the Rester River Intergovernmental Agreement. At a meeting last week, and we're kind of, I'm on that committee as Sheffield's representative, and what we're beginning to do is to look at the possibility of how much more, how many more suits can be brought forward, and it looks like right now, the only one that is left is to appeal to the First Circuit Court, and they need to have that done by May 8th. They just need to say they're going to do it, and then we'll go forward. So all along, the Rest of River Municipal Committee has been kind of looking forward to the point when all of this is over and, the work to do the Rest of River cleanup starts. And there's been the feeling that there should be money set aside to deal with anything that's going to come up during that cleanup period. So the Rest of River Municipal Committee went ahead at its last meeting and authorized the establishment of a administrative Rest of River monetary fund of $1.5 million, which will be funded from the escrow account and the escrow funds that came out of the settlement agreement to pay for any legal, consulting, and other expenses associated with the remedial work in the Housatonic River, and also that we ask Berkshire Regional Planning Commission to be our fiscal agent for that fund, which they have been the fiscal agent for the committee. So the committee passed that unanimously, and now what needs to be done is for each select board to also consider this, since it's a joint action, and that is kind of that. If it's a little different, working with the lawyers, if the select board tonight would consider that, that would be great. If you want to wait until a future meeting, we're trying to kind of wrap this up before elections take place and kind of see what we
This
can
is
do.
the same as,
It's
pretty much the same as-
basically the same.
But I guess my question would be that you would want to pass a motion here in which Sheffield would participate in its pro rata share for the 1.5 million fund. Is that correct?
No, what I want is, what I would like to have done is that the select board would in effect agree with the action that the Rest of River Municipal Committee took in setting up this monetary fund, administrative monetary fund. I'm not sure how it's going to be funded other than from the 55 million, which has been gaining interest. I don't know. We didn't get into proportional shares or anything of that sort at this moment. If we get into, I'm sure we're going to have to get into that at a later date. We just wanted to get the start of this going. We didn't even think about that, to be honest, Martin.
That's okay. I just want to make sure I phrase this.
You want to phrase it exactly this way, as the lawyers have said. The wording needs to, hey.
Do you want me to read it?
Yes, if
Okay.
you would. I mean, the lawyers are very fussy that the Rest of River Committee and what happens by each of the 5 select boards is in fact equal.
Okay. So pursuant to the I'm going to make a motion that pursuant to the intergovernmental agreement, the Sheffield Select Board and the Rest of River Municipal Committee, ROR Committee, authorize the establishment of an administrative Rest of River monetary fund of $1.5 million to be funded following receipt of the funds in the escrow account established to its February 2020 escrow agreement to pay for all legal, consulting, and other expenses, fees, or costs incurred by the Rest of River Committee in the administration, review, and legal work related to any revised permit issued by the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, for the remedial work in the Housatonic River, and that the Berkshire Regional Planning Commission, BRPC, be authorized as the fiscal agent for said Rest of River Monetary Fund. The Rest of River Municipal Committee or its successor is authorized to administer the monetary fund. That's my motion.
Second.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you. The reason behind this is when all the legal work is over, there's still the cleanup to go.
Sure.
And we don't want to lose sight that the cleanup needs to be done. And we're sure as a committee, whoever's on that at that time, is going to need to have access to deal with issues as they come up, to protect the public and make sure that things are done during what might be a 13-year cleanup span.
Right. So, for example, if the Rest of the River Committee then, 10 years from now, needs to hire an environmental engineer to support the Rest of River's work with regard to what GE and others are doing to clean up, that's what this fund would.
Yes,
Okay.
or if we need to challenge that
Yes.
GE or someone and that who they've hired is not having the proper communications with the neighborhoods regarding driving routes and trucks and all the rest of that, there will be some money here to deal with those issues,
Perfect.
rather than having to go back to each of the 5 towns and say, could we have this? It's always hard to get money after the fact.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, any other discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Aye.
Thank you.
All right, we are already at board member items. Martin,
I have nothing. Thank you.
Bob.
I'm good.
Okay, I just have a few. First of all, I really want to thank Martin for the work that he has done on the opioid settlement and having Sheffield get into that, what was that, 2+ years ago?
It's been more like 3 years now.
3 years.
Yeah.
So we weren't sure what was going to happen, but, the first distribution on that is almost $14,000 to Sheffield, and it has specific uses. But without you, I'm not sure that, we would have gotten into this and done all the paperwork and followed it. So I really want to thank Martin
And
for
I
his
would be willing
leadership.
to serve the Select Board and the Town Administrator's Office in continuing to follow the opioid settlements and informing the Select Board for decision-making, so forth.
So
I have that on the next agenda. I was hoping you were going to say.
I would, let's have it on our next agenda to ratify, but I would make a motion to that effect.
Second.
And so we'll just wait for Jill to catch up with us. That's wonderful, Martin. Is there any further discussion on that motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
I'll abstain.
And Martin will abstain. All right. I also just want to remind people that the Great Sheffield Pick Up the roads, pick up all the trash is this weekend. And I know that it's being organized in both Sheffield and here, Sheffield by Jenny Russell, and I'm not sure who, if it's the Chamberlains again, or somebody I know in Ashley
There
Falls.
seems to be several.
Good.
improvements
But
that
anybody
are
can just
getting
grab a bag and go out and pick up. There's plenty to pick up, and I want to thank everyone in advance for doing that. I also want to announce that our housing production plan commission meeting is going to be tomorrow at 7 o'clock. It's going to be in person in this room, as well as via Zoom, and that link and information on that is on our website.
Right.
So I know you guys have been working on this for 6 months now? 4 months?
More like 3.5.
3.5? Okay, so this is really important to participate in if you can. So those are my items. How about town administrator?
I want to thank Martin for his time on the board. This is going to be his last regular meetings.
What about May 3rd?
No, but we can thank him now.
We can thank them now and
Thank
later.
him now, and thank him again.
Town meeting, not election, I'm sorry.
We will have our next select board meeting, we'll just have one right before the town meeting, which is at 6. I know some people came in late thinking it was 7 in April, it's 6. And then we'll have one the following day, which I think will be the 3rd. So, okay. Anything else, Rhonda? Public comments? George? We'll sort it out.
I just want to know what the town is doing about the 5G network that they took over from the planning board.
Okay.
Protecting the town from possible liability.
I can answer that. We didn't take it over from the planning board. We were told by our lawyer that it was not, it was a general bylaw issue. It was not a zoning bylaw issue. So it came to the select board through legal advice. And I have taken, I'm working on that. I'm working on it. It is not ready for prime time. I have not seen any 5G yet anywhere in the Berkshires, nor coming up on what would be Route 7 or through Connecticut. So it's on the list, George. It's not the highest priority.
And the other thing is, I want to mention that on May 4th, there will be a candidates forum at the American Legion at 7 p.m.
Wonderful, thank you.
Advocating 261 East Main Street for two things. One is to let you know that the Southern Berkshire Public Health Collaborative is beginning to form a list of individuals who are homebound and will require vaccinations, COVID now, flu in the fall, and that work is best, I think, gathered by Kathy Loring, and that the collaborative is in contact with her. There are some requirements and definitions of homebound, so if you know of anyone who is homebound, please talk with Kathy and see that they get on that list if they're qualified, so that they can receive that service. Secondly, is a question about, there had been discussion about the possible purchase of a cabinet for the recycling to be used in the library for art supplies. Where does that stand?
Well, when that came up, we asked, that was in discussion with Dina, and we suggested that she put it in her budget. I haven't heard anything since then. That was, months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was months ago.
Okay, no, you're right. If it was, I apologize if it was, I don't recall it being in the budget.
I believe she said a revised budget.
That was my understanding too.
I believe she sent a revised budget that includes
That's
it.
great, I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem, you know, that's the last I heard of it.
Good, okay.
Okay. Anyone else?
I would make a motion to adjourn.
All right.
Second.
We have a motion to adjourn and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much, everyone, for being here, or for watching. And Rich, thank you for being here. This